welcome back to the SP channel. Except today there's a change of programming, and a change of programming forevermore. We're not talking about SP stuff anymore. I'm going to continue with the relationship theme today. I'm going to continue with Joseph Murphy, but we're going to get off the SP train, at least for the day, and probably for the rest of this channel's history. No, it was good. I felt good talking about the SP stuff the last two videos. So that's something we can discuss in the future if people are interested. As long as you can handle my take on it. Just that should be obvious, right? But you know, the underlying thing which we started to touch upon yesterday is something that I think we always touch upon, at least, you know, subtly, when we talk about this stuff. And that is like, you know, living your life, doing unto others what you would want done to yourself. The golden rule, pretty much, right? So much of this law of attraction stuff, why it appeals to me, why it appealed to me when I first found it, like back in 2014, and why it's continually appealed to me through various teachers and teachings, in like the 8 or so years since I, you know, was drawn to it, is because so much of this information is just, like we were talking about yesterday, uncommon common sense, dealing with human relations, or as we're about to read in this chapter, harmonious human relations, as Murphy talks about it in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Basically living the golden rule, you know, to the best of your ability, dealing with your flaws and imperfections, not beating yourself up, and seeing your behavior positively affect your life in beautiful and often unexpected ways. That's so much of the law of attraction, in my opinion. If you want to get esoteric and spiritual about it, I'm not your guy, really. And that's because, as I've often said, there are far better spiritual teachings, in my opinion, than this law of attraction stuff. If you want to get deep spiritually, I do love doing that. But it's not like I'm going to be referencing Neville or Abraham Hicks to do that. You know, the deep spiritual stuff, in my opinion, what I have always resonated much more with is, like, you know, the non-dual stuff, the Zen stuff, the real mystical teachings that you really can't label or understand, let alone create some kind of like logical theory or laws about. But like the deep stuff that's like just viscerally, you're like, whoa, that's truth, or that's God, you know? And that's not what I'm looking for in law of attraction teachings usually. I'm looking for practical advice for how to have a better life, and correspondingly how to help other people have a better life. They go hand in hand. You know, this is so much about win-win opportunities and situations, making it a win-win. Growing up, we're taught so often that if somebody wins, somebody loses, you know? And that's a shitty way to go about life a lot of the time, you know? Finding win-win scenarios for yourself and others is very gratifying. Very, very gratifying. And, you know, I always was aware of this. It's just the law of attraction really underscored how gratifying and how important that is. And a book that describes this beautifully, turns out it's not just an SP book. A book that describes this so well is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. So yeah, there's another chapter in it soon after the marital SP chapter called Harmonious Human Relations. And there's profitable pointers in human relations at the end, just like there were profitable pointers in the marital chapter. I'm going to read a couple of them today. I don't think I'm going to read all of them. because there's too many. Maybe we'll make another video, maybe we won't. But you're going to get the point really quickly in what Murphy's talking about how practical, like practical golden rule stuff. Somebody made a great comment, Nando, I think is your name, about how this is like stuff that like your grandpa would tell you, you know, like just good common sense advice. That's right on, you know. I'm like your grandpa here, you know. It's like, yeah, this is just how it is, you know. And we can yuck around with all these theoretical LOA ideas, but it's like, yeah, end of the day, treat people pretty nicely, and you're more likely to be treated nicely yourself and to have good things happen to you. Common sense. So Murphy wrote for the Profitable Pointers section in this chapter, 1, your subconscious mind is a recording machine which reproduces your habitual thinking. Think good of the other, and you are actually thinking good about yourself. I mean, that's everything we were just talking about. That's the golden rule. Think good of the other, and you are actually thinking good about yourself. Obviously, this ties into SP stuff too. It ties into any human relation, okay? 2, a hateful or resentful thought is a mental poison. Do not think ill of another, for to do so is to think ill of yourself. You are the only thinker in your universe, and your thoughts are creative. Now, it's one thing to, you know, read this. It's another thing altogether to live it. And to notice when you do get pissed at somebody or ticked off or upset or resentful or hateful, to nip it in the bud, you know, quickly as opposed to slowly or at all. That's like living these principles, like, you know, turning the other cheek, learning to do that. 3, your mind is a creative medium. Therefore, what you think and feel about the other, you are bringing to pass in your own experience. This is the psychological meaning of the golden rule. As you would do, that man should think about you. Think about them in the same manner. I did not read that properly, that last sentence. Let me read that again. As you would, that man should think about you. Think about them in the same manner. How you think about somebody, how you want to be thought about in regards to yourself, you think about someone else in the same way, lovingly. And again, so much of this like comes back to the golden rule. If you think about someone like that highest ideal, that idea of like God or truth, that deep sense of fulfillment, of peace, if you think about that in regards to not only yourself but others, if it's all one, right? Just like you're like living the golden rule, you know? You know, you don't have like these ulterior weird motives or whatever. You're thinking harmoniously, peacefully. Very deep, you know. Your grandpa probably didn't say stuff like Joseph Murphy's saying here, okay? Let's not make light of it. This is some pretty profound information. Again, he says, what you think and feel about the other, you are bringing to pass in your own experience. This is the psychological meaning of the golden rule. It's deep. You know? Just in a very practical way. Again, I'm not talking about like theoretical spirituality, can't explain it, da-da-da-da. I'm talking about like a deep common sense truth. Let's do 2 more here. There's a bunch of points. We're not going to get to all of them like we thought. Number 4, to cheat, rob, or defraud another brings lack, loss, and limitation to yourself. Your subconscious mind records your inner motivations, thoughts, and feelings. These being of a negative nature, loss, limitation, and trouble come to you in countless ways. Actually, what you do to the other, you are doing to yourself. You treat someone else like shit, you get shit yourself. Yeah. I mean, if you're watching this channel, hopefully you already understand that. It's more about doing it in your life, and that's what Murphy's helping us with. Point 5. The good you do, the kindness proffered, the love and goodwill you send forth will all come back to you multiplied in many ways. So, golden rule, win-win action. That's like the law of attraction in a nutshell. Something to reflect on is like, why can't I have more win-win scenarios in my life? More situations and actions where just it benefits everybody. And it's just, we can gently focus on that. And it becomes very natural to really only accept situations that you think are going to benefit everybody, on a pragmatic level. So I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry that the SP channel has been canceled. Perhaps it'll be resurrected again sometime. And I hope you have a grand and wonderful